All right, y'all, let's talk about the new moon in Leo that is happening on July 24th, 2025 at 2 degrees in Leo. So this new moon, as you may have heard, if you're seeing all of the different content about it, Leo, of course, is all about being seen. We know this. Leo is bold. Leo is courageous. Leo is all about just showing up and showing your truth. However, this new moon is more so about being seen despite the what ifs, being seen despite your shortcomings. This is being seen fully. That includes your shadows. So it's going to be a lot of unpacking during this full moon. And I'm going to try to walk through all of the transit, not all of them, sorry, not all of them, but most of the transits that are playing a key role in this new moon. Now, this new moon will be conjunct the sun in Leo. And at the time of the new moon, the sun and the moon will be squaring Chiron. So that's why I'm saying your shadows are definitely going to be brought into light. Chiron is the wounded healer. So what happens is you may begin to get triggered. I ain't gonna lie, like during this time, you might be triggered. You might experience a lot of wounds that come up maybe from your childhood or from the past, or just overall, if you've had any issues with being seen, maybe you felt like you weren't cute enough, you weren't smart enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't athletic enough. Anything that limited you from being in the spotlight or fully showing up as your true self. Maybe you were like the black sheep of your family, whatever the case may be. This may get highlighted during this time with the sun and the moon squaring Chiron in Aries. And let's not forget, Chiron is going retrograde on July 30th. So this is a quick little taste test, and then we'll talk more about that closer to next week. But yeah, so on top of the fact that we have Mercury in retrograde. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what's going on during this Mercury retrograde, you can check out my other video where I talk all about Mercury in retrograde. But why is this important for this new moon? Well, one, again, Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Leo. So it won't be super close. Like it'll be a very loose conjunction. But it's important because Mercury is all about an internal reflection and revisiting our life for the past 3 months, or even sometimes further than that. Things from the past, especially when it comes to any type of wounds, any type of trauma that has gone unprocessed, or things, emotions that you've been pushing down. Now everything is bubbling to the surface. And that's not to just be like a slap in the face. That is for you to heal it. That is for you to alchemize it. So during this time, you may find yourself searching for a teacher, or you might be called into leadership and to teach others and guide others along their spiritual journey. I see a lot of people looking for mentors right now. I see a lot of people, stepping into the coaching role. For me personally, it would be the latter. So I am extending my coaching services. So if you are looking for a mentor, get at your girl. But anyways, so that is all energy of Chiron. Next, we add Pluto to the mix. So Pluto is all about death, rebirth, transformation, and definitely alchemy. So it's more, I'm really focused on the ego deaths of this transit. So here you have the sun and the moon in Leo directly opposing Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. This is addressing how we show up and honor ourselves and the boundaries that we set with others, or the group that we belong to, or just the overall collective, our local community. How are we honoring ourselves, and thus then honoring what society expects, basically. So there's going to be some power dynamics that are introduced. Are you being manipulated, or are you trying to manipulate others? How is your uniqueness shining through? Like, does it actually benefit your group or your society, or is it becoming more of an ego thing on your part? Because Leo in the lower octave can be a little like, oh my God, look at me, it's all about me. But it's like, okay, it's about you, but it's not benefiting everybody else. Like it has to be a collective, and vice versa. You don't want it to be too, well, I'm just so for the people, to where it's detrimental to yourself. Or it could show up in a way where it's like, I'm cool because Uranus rules Aquarius, right? So it's like, I'm cool, I'm different. Like, yeah, that was the old way of doing things, but we don't do that anymore. But if this new trendy way of doing things is still just as destructive as the old system, then what is the point? So that is what we're going to be looking at with Pluto retrograde opposing this new moon. Now, another thing that I want to talk about, or another transit that let's get into, is Uranus. So the sun and the moon will be sextile Uranus in Gemini. So this is good. This is exciting. This is the boost that we need, because I'm not going to lie, a lot of this energy does feel a little bit heavier. So you're really going to have to rely on the life force energy of the sun. And you can also lean on Uranus in this case to really shake things up and embrace your uniqueness in a way that benefits not only you, but the collective, as we just discussed. So when the sun sextiles Uranus, this is feeling different and you're okay with it, as well as the moon. It's like emotionally, socially, it's just like it's known that you're different and you're okay with it. And this may be a new era for a lot of people. A lot of people have been moving, creeping slowly towards being seen, or slowly towards being authentic. But as we're learning during this process, authentic isn't always like, yeah, girl, this is me. Sometimes authentic is like you're low-key rocking in the corner and you're still not afraid of being perceived. Life is falling apart and you're still showing up online and being perceived. If you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I literally just posted a video earlier today where I'm like, I crashed out twice this morning, but I'll see y'all later on YouTube and on my blog, because that is what authenticity means to me at this point. Like, I got to get over the fact that like everything is not going to be prim and proper and perfect, and I still just have to keep going and keep showing up. I have Lilith in Virgo, as well as my North Node in Virgo. So it's a lot of perfectionism sometimes in this little brain of mine. Okay, so back to the sun and the moon sextile Uranus. So this energy is really going to help us be bold and stand in the fire of Leo, because like I just mentioned, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Like I said it in my reel. It is when I was in meditation, I kept hearing the phrase, I just want to roar. I just want to roar. Now, I am a Leo rising, so I resonated with that. But as I thought more and more about that, I thought about how everyone's roar or moment of fame or authenticity, again, doesn't always look like how we think it looks. And I thought about Simba when he was a cub and he was trying to roar like Mufasa. It was more of like a wow, like a mew more than a meow if you have a cat. So when cats or kittens, it's like a meow, meow. But as they get older, it's a meow, meow. So same thing. It's like a wow versus a roar. I'm very animated, so just stay with me, okay? So with the sun and the moon sextile Uranus, you're going to embrace that type of energy where it's like, okay, that was a weird example, but I follow you, Faith. I get it. And I respect you for just saying that and doing that. So you're going to embrace that. You might also come across different people that open your mind and expand your consciousness for what's out there in the world. Whether that's different people from different places in the world, different cultures, different ethnic groups. Like, you're going to make all these rare but cool connections where it's like you're all different, but the differences are so valued. The last thing is you might get a little racy romance, a little spicy romance with the sun and Uranus, or the moon not the sun and Uranus, the sun sextile Uranus or the moon sextile Uranus. Two things that came up were just heightened intuition, and you might get a little fast pass romance. I would not take it seriously if somebody's like really coming hard at you. I would not take it serious during this time at all, but you might want to wait until, like, give it some time for it to solidify if that's what you seriously want. Okay, the last thing that I will talk about is Mars in Virgo conjunct the South Node. Now, this does not really directly affect the moon per se, but the energy has been very potent. If you follow the astrological community on any type of social media platform, you may have come across people talk about this. I've actually seen non-astrological people talk about this transit. So there has been a wave of people who are like, I am just so over it, I want to quit. And that is because Mars is currently in Virgo, conjunct the South Node. And the South Node can sometimes act like Saturn on steroids. It could be very, very restrictive, or just literally just clearing out a path of what no longer works. And so when you get these two placements in Virgo, it is this sense of, it's an emphasis on efficiency. What is efficient? What is no longer working? Cut the rest. In my blog, I mentioned that it's literally like a store closing sale. Everything must go. So we're seeing a lot of people quit their jobs. We're seeing a lot of people quit their businesses. I mean, I'm talking like long-term careers, businesses that have been standing or going on for years and years and years. Suddenly, these people don't want to do this anymore. They kind of recognize and acknowledge and act on the fact that, hey, this isn't working. I don't feel fulfilled in this. I don't want to do this anymore. So that is what you're seeing with this energy. And the medicine in that is like, yes, let all of those things go. Definitely try not to hold on to things, but also figure out, what is working, what is efficient, and how can we continue to create a system that is long-term, that does have longevity. Maybe it's not so masculine or so go, so Martian, but how can we infuse some of that feminine energy to balance that feeling of burnout, to balance that sense of mass overwork? We're definitely transmuting. Those are the big themes with this transit, is overworking, mass burnout, just this overall sense of servitude that's making you unhappy, basically. Virgo is all about service, and it is a healer, but not to your detriment, and that is the whole point. So I know that was a lot. I like to keep these videos short. I'm not gonna drag it. Let me know how you're feeling. As I mentioned, I've crashed out a few times. I am a Leo rising, but I think it's just more than that. I think I'm just really kind of feeling like a diamond in the rough kind of energy. As you guys know, I've been working with the quantum field, and I have been in Delulu land with it, like really just going ham on my subconscious mind. But it's frustrating because I am embracing this new identity, but it's frustrating as it's like a slow process of me seeing slowly different signs that it's all working out. And yet people around me are kind of reminding me like, this is who you say you are, but this is who you are. But this is who I am is not me anymore, kind of thing. So yeah, it's a struggle, it's a process, but again, we keep going, we keep showing up, we keep doing our thing. So let me know how you feel in the comments, and if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bells, because more and more are on the way. Until next time.